Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
Today we are going to review Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Basically Ant-Man 3. Full of spoilers. You have been warned. Listen, we're sorry this came a little late because I watched it late. Won-Jin watched it as soon as it hit theaters. But I got to say, I'm glad I watched it late because I saw all these YouTube reviews. I didn't click on them, but they were basically all shitting on it.
Yeah, there were a lot of people bashing on this thing.
But I gotta be honest, I didn't have such a bad time. It was okay. But I also understand where some of the
hate comes from.
Yeah, I mean the hate. I think it's not this movie's fault. I think it's been building up, and this movie's just getting the hit. But this movie, I felt it would have made a great TV movie. I would watch it anytime when it's on cable and stuff. But that being said, I did feel like either it needed to be longer or shorter.
For me, this movie came to me as quite good. And I think the reason is because when I came out of the theaters watching this movie, I had already had disappointments from the previous movies.
Okay.
Especially the ones like the Eternals and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, those, because the reason is when I was watching those, the Eternals and Black Widow and everything, the movie itself had its own story, but as in terms of this big phase, this macro view of their next 10 years. I didn't feel like the story was really advancing. I thought the story wasn't really going anywhere, because when we look back at the previous decade of these Marvel movies, starting from the first Iron Man, they were kind of sequential. The story was they were fitting. You could tell that they're kind of puzzles.
Well, I actually disagree with you there, Won-Jin. I felt like the initial phase of Marvel worked because each movie were independent, and we weren't used to this pattern yet. But the Kang movie, I actually have a problem with. I felt like there was a good story in there, but this was sacrificed because of macro issues. Because I think I told you this before we started today. The first hour, I was fine with it. I was actually fascinated by this quantum world. I actually don't. I saw some reviews bashing Cassie as some kind of perfect girl. I didn't get that vibe at all. I thought that was pretty okay. And I think what the problem was, because the first two Ant-Man I love, Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp. They're good family home fun. Yeah. But I think what happened here was they were trying to do that plus bring in Kang. And so this micro, as you describe it, macro and micro collided, and it just didn't work for me. So the first hour of them going into this mystery world and maybe finding Kang was fine. Until suddenly someone presses fast forward and it's already end of the world stuff. And then I have a lot of problem because I actually like those weirdos. I like those weird no hole guy. And then
I love that part because it gave me a lot of Star Wars vibe. Yeah. And also I love the idea that they had by drinking this little potion that came out of that one of the dudes.
They're drinking directly from him.
They can just instantly start to understand each other.
Yeah, but I was kind of I started to get worried once they pressed fast forward. That was for me when Bill Burr. I mean, not Bill Burr, but what's his name? That famous guy.
Who?
The one who plays Michelle Pfeiffer's ex-boyfriend. And
Bill Murray.
Yeah, Bill Murray. Once Bill Murray got clapped, I was like, "Hey, that was fast." And then the movie shows me this awesome man called Kang the Conqueror. Jonathan Major completely steals the show, as in you were right, because Won-Jin saw it first and he told me that this is a man's simmering rage. But I love how he's sort of like an emperor, but a demented emperor. And I don't know if they have that design in the comics, but the scar was perfect too, because it reminded me a lot of the rapper Baby and the whole like the whole crew, because it's kind of like sad and scary at the same time, because it's a scar but it kind of looks like tear marks. So like Kang's design was perfect, and then the actor kills it with like it also reminded me a lot of Bane in Dark Knight Rises.
Good point. You can tell he's very intelligent,
but he speaks very logically, but there's something fearsome behind it.
Yeah, and you can tell from the way he speaks. The thing with Bane is that there's that contrast between his
intelligence and his body,
intelligence and sophistication, and the brutality of him.
Yeah. And then I definitely got that vibe too, because you could tell like when he made threats, those were scary scenes. But at the same time, see, once the fast forward button was pressed, I was kind of disappointed that here's a man terrifyingly like. It didn't match the Kang we met at Loki.
Yeah, because supposedly he was capable of waging wars between universes. And it kind of gives us a hint of how powerful he really is.
Yeah.
And especially from Loki, we saw how worthless those Infinity Stones are in his universe.
But here, all he does is shoot lasers and get angry.
Yeah.
But hey, I would say this though: some of the scenes were honestly cool. I don't understand. Like some of the battle scenes were cool. I loved it when Ant-Man just becomes Giant Man and Godzilla's the fucking town. Oh, and another thing was like the design of like the Kang's palace and empire was okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was actually.
I also love that I mean the way they expressed the world of Quantum Realm.
Yeah.
When they showed Ant-Man showing those infinite possibilities of himself. That itself is, I think, quite genius in the way they expressed it visually. Because I read from a book the basic concepts of like quantum computing.
Okay.
Like in digital, it's either 0 or 1. But in quantum computing, there are infinite possibilities in between 0 and 1. And when I saw Ant-Man just multiplying infinitely, saying that those are like all these different possibilities, I kind of understood what that was. So I thought that scene itself was quite genius.
But here's the thing though. One of my theories is that this movie got butchered in the editing room because I feel like they tried to do a lot. What I mean by that is I think they tried to make Cassie's relationship with Ant-Man and Hope's relationship with Michelle Pfeiffer as like a parallel, because Hope has daughter issues and Cassie has her daughter issue. I thought it was realistic that the teenage girl doesn't give a fuck if his father is a savior of the world, because a lot of people don't care if their father is a celebrity or whatever. Like I saw some YouTube comments shitting on that. I thought that was actually believable. But like the problem is, please don't hate me. The problem was like there wasn't enough time for me to like understand Hope's relationship with Michelle Pfeiffer, and then they do this joke that I hated, like the spaceship joke, and then Hope says, "You chose him," and then Michelle Pfeiffer said, "I have needs."
Yeah.
You know what that reminded me of? As soon as that joke came out, it reminded me of Transformers 2.
Transformers.
When they show Devastator's balls.
And they shoot it with a railgun.
Yeah, it kind of like destroyed this. I was having like a Star Wars vibe just like you. I was like, oh shit, nice. And then like the sex joke comes in. I have never heard a sex joke in this like whatever, man. But like
it was out of place. It was completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think just the conversation, the dialogue between Bill Murray and what's his name? Dr. Pym.
Yeah.
That was enough.
Yeah,
it just gives us the nuance of
there
that happened. But
yeah.
Like the moment it came out of Hope and Michelle Pfeiffer's mouth, that just ruined it all.
Yeah, me too, man. But I don't know though. Like at the same time, there were charming moments, and Michelle Pfeiffer basically this should. You know what? like scratch this movie, make a series called Quantumania, and take us back to Michelle Pfeiffer and the Kang War.
Yeah, that would be a great spin-off.
Yeah, make it a TV series. Because I kind of felt bad for Michael Douglas. Because, man, he was awesome in the first Ant-Man movie.
That's right.
But suddenly Michelle Pfeiffer like, see, like, please don't bring in two S-class actors and make one a bitch-ass dad, and then like make like see. This is what I mean by like editing, cutting room. Because all Michael Douglas had is like best payday ever. Like when
he comes back with the ants.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. But see, I felt like they needed some space in between, like 10 minutes of like some build up at least. This almost felt like a TV movie in the sense that I could tune in any time and there's always flashy things going on. But I felt like it was a little clunky.
And another thing I really didn't like, or I was bummed out by, was how little time was invested between Kang and Michelle Pfeiffer,
right?
Because I think when they were figuring out how to repair his ship, it should have been as detailed and sophisticated as what we saw in the first Iron Man between Tony Stark and what's his name, Yinsen. Because when Michelle Pfeiffer sees his memories. It's not as shocking as it should have been. It wasn't as shocking. So I think in order for that to be a shock, they should have invested a lot more time between those two. And through dialogues and interactions, they should have revealed more of the, like you said, likable traits of Kang. Because in order for a villain to be awesome, we always need likable traits.
No, but I would say this. I agree with you. I would say this though. I was never bored during the movie, so I give credit to the editing if there was a lot of cut out stuff. But see, here's the thing though. I love the concept of Ant-Man going against Kang though, because Ant-Man is the most like underappreciated. Like right next to the Arrow guy,
Hawkeye.
Oh, his name is Hawkeye. See, I even forget. I always think of him as Arrow,
the Arrow guy
from DC. But Hawkeye, like, see, so I like that as a concept, but I wish there were more breathing, like more story in between, more meat. You know, and then we almost named this video like Hamburgers without the buns, because you could argue that this was just straight to the core, like.
Yeah.
And that was too much. I wanted some buns in between. Like, see, like, Avatar works because I think it's long. So here, I don't know. Like, I also like the rebels. I don't even remember the rebel leader's name.
Yeah.
And what her power is. Why does that spear like delete somebody? And what's up? Like, and some of the lines were bad too. I felt like maybe it was rewritten. Like, some of the like your buildings don't alive. I was like, yeah, motherfucker.
That's why they're called buildings.
No, like it's just like I don't know what the fuck is going on. Of course I don't know. But like, like Kang and Michelle Pfeiffer basically stole the show. That's why this show should be like there should be a TV show called Quantumania and Wasp, and then make it about them. And I don't know though. Like the ending kind of bummed me out too. Actually,
yeah.
Like by the 20 minutes mark, it became for me like a checklist thing. When Kang and Ant-Man starts fist fighting, like I did not like that, because Kang is supposed to be this genius scientist. Just because your body armor is broken doesn't mean you can't do science shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And if you think about the Avengers, we have to remember the scene where Hulk is completely outclassed by Thanos. Yeah, that's right. That we should have seen something similar in Ant-Man.
See, I think the problem here was the time constraint. So it became like that. I agree with you 100%. I thought there would be like a time whip or something.
Yeah.
Where he gets damaged, but he presses like the suit, and then his arm goes back to time.
Yeah. Because even Ant-Man, he can create a lot of tactics with the timing of his shrinking and growing and everything. Yeah. Kang, he can jump through time and do all sorts of things, like science things.
See, now that we talked about it, See, here's the problem. Maybe there was an explanation. He can't do that in the quantum realm because it's a realm outside of time and space, right? But I also needed more explanation. I don't know. Maybe they decided not to explain it because it's gonna fuck it up. But like, I felt like, hey, time is flowing, guys. You guys are obviously moving around. Like, I don't understand what's going on. So I felt like maybe they should have done the nerd thing, which we would have enjoyed, like by explaining the quantum world better, so that we don't get confused in the final battle. Like, and I also didn't like the Kang minions. Like, they were like so generic. Like, we've seen these guys, like, they were basically like Age of Ultron guys.
Yeah, I think what they should have done was bring those Sentinels from X-Men Days of Future Past.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Devastating.
That, like, basically gives you the feeling that they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like force of nature.
Yeah.
That's the kind of intimidation they should bring.
Right. And I think all of this stems from the time constraint. The quantum realm was not explained properly, and they had to end this movie somehow.
Yeah.
And
I'm sad that his dialogues, some of his lines were pretty badass. You know, like when Ant-Man mentions that he's an Avenger and he's like Earth's greatest defender, Kang kind of replies him by saying, "It's like, oh, was he the guy with the hammer?"
Yeah.
Basically, gives us the information that he's been through all these wars against the Avengers already, and he had killed them already.
Nah, but if you're gonna say that at the end of the movie, don't scream and shoot laters, man. Delete these motherfuckers. Like, you see, that's the problem I had. Oh, and you had something you wanted to say about Modok.
Oh, Darren. Yeah, that's right. That was like a comic relief.
Yeah. Hey, I agree with you. Like, I didn't even mind the bad CG because I think that was intentional. Like,
it reminded me the 90s FPS games, like Doom and stuff.
Yeah. But we talked about this before we started filming. But we liked the beginning jokes, but we had a problem with the ending though. Like when Cassie said, "Don't be a dick," I felt like I didn't need that.
Yeah, his change just came so sudden.
Yeah, I think they did it too much, the joke thing. Because I was fine of, like, overall the jokes were fine. Except the Michelle Pfeiffer sex joke and some of the stupid ones in between. But, you know, like, overall it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
And mentioning Michelle Pfeiffer, I just can't believe how beautiful she looks.
Yeah, very
even
dignified.
at her age. Yeah.
I agree with you completely. I wanted to know the Kang and her, like, scientific stuff too. Yeah. But Jonathan Major does, like, he's a relatively young actor, but he plays like an ageless guy really well.
Yeah.
Like when he said Jelly Bean to Hope, I was like, fuck. Yeah, because Hope is like, who the fuck are you? But anyway, the ending, the mid-credit scene, I did like the Kangs gathering though.
Yeah, I love the diversities they have.
Yeah.
Just like what we saw from Loki and all those different versions of Loki. We also get to see a lot of different versions of Kang.
You know, but what's so funny is, like, the leader, I think the three guys are the leaders. I find it funny that all of them are the most psycho version of the Kang. Because the other guys, they look like the Kang we just saw, right? But
one dude is like Egyptian.
One is a warlock, and another is a cyborg. I love the Egyptian guy though, because I think it was really well. I think the warlock guy is supposed to be the leader. But I don't know. Like, I felt like maybe give us more hints about that during the movie too.
Yeah. And let's try to make some predictions on what's going to happen next throughout the rest of the Marvel movies in the next phase. Because when I saw those three convening, I was thinking the Avengers would eventually have to go back to the Kang that they locked out and bring him back to handle the other Kangs. I'm pretty sure they're gonna eventually temporarily fight together.
Oh, now that you said that, I hated the ending now. I changed my mind. I hated when Ant-Man walked and then he said, did I do that? Yo, that was dumb. That see that was like trying to make us theorize. Give us some hints. Like, don't say that. Like, then why didn't you suicide bomb and stuff? like whatever, man. I didn't like the ending, to be honest. I wish the mid-credit scene was the ending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hate this formula now. Like, if you're gonna do it, just show us already. I mean, I may be on the minority here, but I felt like as soon as like the ending would have been better if Ant-Man did his silly monologue, and then we suddenly zoom into the three Kangs, and then that would have been better. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
You know, being too obviously a setup.
I think what they were trying to do was trying to give us that comic vibe that they had with the first Ant-Man. You know,
Right.
Ant-Man's buddy. What's his name? Michael Pena.
Yeah,
Is
and
that his
T.I.
name? Yeah.
They were awesome, by the way.
Yeah, you know how he was like giving off that story that he heard from another dude.
Yeah, yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was good. I missed him actually. Now that you mention him, I felt like Michelle Pfeiffer came in and just kicked out all the boys. Like she just came in. I'm taking over the show. I mean, I think. See, this is why it should have been a TV show. Something like at least 4 hours. You know, it's weird that like Winter Soldier and Falcon gets a green lit for
Yeah,
TV
they get,
show.
like, what was it? Like 8 episodes
Yo,
or 6 episodes?
That
or something?
should have been an hour and 30-minute movie, and this should have been a 6-hour show.
Yeah.
Like, or at least part 1, part 2.
I completely agree. That's true.
And as soon as they put in Quantumania in the title, I was like, hell yeah, Kang, baby. Because they've been teasing it so much since Loki. But anyway, prediction-wise, I don't know. Like, you know, I honestly don't care a little, too. Like, it's not as exciting as guessing, like, the Thanos thing. Remember how much we guessed after, like, the
Infinity War?
Yeah, the first part. And then the second part was, like, worth it. Like, it was amazing. But here, I don't know what to expect because they gave us so little. Like,
That's true.
Like, where?
Maybe the upcoming Marvel movie is Guardians of the Galaxy. So maybe this will give us more answers to this.
Oh, please don't. I just want to watch a movie now. I don't care. I just want to have a good time where friends or family get together and then beat a bad guy and then realize they love each other. They're the best. Happy fucking ending, please. I don't need this, like, I don't know. But anyway, let's give a grade now.
I would give it 6.5 out of
6.5?
10. 6.5 out of 10.
That's generous. I give this a 5.
Okay.
Because it was fun, but honestly, I don't care. It was fun. I don't care. I don't give a fuck because even without the Loki, like I think that's Loki season 2. Without that, I was gonna watch Loki season 2 anyway, just to watch Loki and the other Sylvie like partner up or something. Yeah. And the Kang one, honestly, I don't care because I don't know what's going on. But anyway. That's it for this one, guys. We're going to be back in 5 minutes and talk about Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2, and Last of Us, Episode 8. Thank you for tuning in. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I was Joe.
I was Won-Jin.
We'll see you in the next one.
See you soon.